Hi everyone. Hi Kalyan. Hi Rizwan.
I,
Let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes. We'll start.
okay.
Okay, we'll start. I hope 4 members are joined. Hi everyone. I hope my voice is very clear and audible, right?
Yes.
Okay, thanks for the confirmation. I hope everyone is practice it previous section, and you have aware of what is the CRM and how many modules are like using, what is the sales module and what is the service module and what is the other modules, and as well as a functional flow. I think everyone is aware. From today onwards we will start the technical session like so if you are a, in project, so how you need to start and what are the components you need to like start from. So if anyone like assigned any tasks, from where you need to start, like what is the solution, what is the tables, and what is the like a field types, how we need to create, and when we create the entity, so what are the checks or unchecks we need to like follow, and what is the like entity types, like everything we need to discuss today. So this is the technical starting session. Okay, so if you have doubt at any point of time, you can stop me and ask. Okay, because this is the basic and starting session. So if you are aware, so later sessions it will be okay. I hope everyone is clear, right? Let me share my screen. Let me know once you're able to see my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So if you log in CRM, by default this page will open. Okay, this is, we can call it as model driven app. Okay, so here we need to select which app we need to work in. Okay, that you will aware, or like in team or your TL or manager, they will explain in which app you need to log in. Okay, and you don't need to create any separate like a model driven app to create your own in real time. So we are all team members needs to work in the single app. Okay, they will create it as per the client name. Okay, for example, so if I will work on this my tickets tool, so I will open this one, and if you click this one, right, so in CRM, so it will open. This is looks like it is a CRM. Okay, this is a CRM view. So this left side will we can see the all the navigations. Okay, all entities in left navigation. So in middle navigation, so this we can call as a forms view, like these are the views. Based on this views, so here the records will display. Okay, so this is we can call as a form. So here if you see the form, right, we have here like a custom name and service and other fields are there, and there are different if you see the input, so this is they have given text with text plus some integers and special characters. Here some numbers they have given, and here if you see the rich text, this we can call as a rich text editor or okay. And if you see in the down, here we have some like a positive and it is locked. Okay, so this is how like we can create the fields. So I will explain clearly, don't worry about like I will explain each field. So what is the field and what is the use of field, when we need to create which field. Okay, so we have like a number of like data types in CRM. So I will explain once the time is came. And first of all, so I will huh. So first of all we will talk about the solution. Okay, what is the solution and what is the use of the solution, how many solutions in CRM. Okay, which solution we need to use for the a deployment, what deployment process, and what is the use of the deployment, why we need to like deploy the solution. Okay, in how many like stages we need to like um, use the solution deployment. For example, in how many organizations we have, what is the use of develop instance, what is the use of test instance, what is the use of production instance. And while creating a solution, we have a called as a publisher, and what is the use of that publisher. Okay, I will explain. First we'll go first step, solution. So which screen are you able to see? I hope make that Power Apps, right?
Yeah, Power Apps.
Yeah.
Okay. If you see here, right, in the Power Apps, so this is the like a page you need to open. Okay. By default, if you open this, right, and this will show like how many environment you have. Not sure in every time whether it will open the by default like dev instance. If not, so we need to select. So in real time you have dev instance and UAT and production like that. Okay. Like if you are like organization name and dev, organization name UAT, organization name production. So where we need to like do the customization first means dev instance. So as a developer, we need to use a dev for development, UAT for testing, production for production deployment. Okay. So we need to select the right organization to develop. Okay. So I have selected here our dev instance. So once we selected, if you see here, right, in environment section, so it will show. So which environment, so it is connected. So here we have selected as a dev instance. And if you see here, right, in left side, we have tables, flows, solution, and more. Okay, today our like agenda is to like what is the solution and what is the publisher and what is the use of solution, how many publishers are there, um, what is the entity, how to create the entity. Okay, in entity, what are the fields? What are the fields will come? Okay, how many types of entities we can create? So these are the like main agendas we need to learn today. Okay, first we need to talk about the solutions. If you see here, right, we have like three types of solutions in CRM. One is default solution and unmanaged solution and managed solution. Default solution, if you see here, right, this is called default. In the default solutions, CRM will provide like Microsoft is providing the default solution. So whatever the out of the box while configuration the org, so Microsoft solution will show here what are the like components, and Microsoft is like given the out of the box. If you see here, right, we have like almost 10,763 components are there, like different components like tables, choice fields, data processors, flows, everything. It will comes under the default solution. So we have default solution. Why we need to create the custom solution for development, right? This is the common question for the like in the beginning stage of the every developer. So they will come. So why we have a default solution? Why we need to create the uh, custom solution, right? So this is a huge. If you see here, right, we have like a lot of components here now. If you create, if you do any development here, right, later if you want to move our customization to other instance, it is difficult to identify our components. So for example, today you have created one entity, for example a student entity, and you have done some customizations in the default solution, and 6 months later, so today you will remember what are the things you have done the customizations or configurations. So after 6 months, it is difficult to identify the components and customizations what you have done in the default solution, right? So it is combination of out of the box components are and our custom solution. So this is the main reason you do not want to do any customization in the default solution. Are you clear? Don't do any customizations in the default solution. That is the main priority. Okay, we need to create our own solution. Okay, and what is the managed solution here, right? So like I will tell you like very clearly, because this is the first session. Okay, so if you are clear in the first section itself, so you will not like confusion in later sessions, and if you went in real time also, you will not ask minimum basic questions to your team members. Okay, here we have like a default solution, as I told. So this is a CRM provided solution. You don't need to create any customizations or configuration in the default solution. It is difficult to identify whenever we do the deployment in the UAT or production. Okay, and here we have a managed solution. So what is mean by managed solution? Managed solution in the sense, managed solution is a fully fully developed solution. Okay, for example, everything is developed, so we don't need to develop. So if you we can call as that one as a managed solution. In managed solution, so it will not allow users to do any customization. Okay, if you see here, right, you do not directly edit this object within the managed solution. Or you see this screen, right? This is the warning message. So in managed solution, so we can't do any customizations in the managed solution. For example, so you are a organization, like you have some client, so you have done some work in the solution, and you have done the one project, and how you will give to the your client is, so you will give as a managed component. Later, if they need any customizations, right, they need to come back and ask for us only. Okay, so they will not do any customizations in the managed solution. Okay, so this, are you clear, right? Managed solution, we can't do any customizations. This is a completed solution once the development is completed. So if you convert this as a managed solution, we can't do any changes in the um, production or UAT. Okay, always we need to create the unmanaged solutions only in the develop instance. Till now, are you clear, right? You don't have any confusion, na? Hello, yes or no?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
But would you able to listen to us?
sorry,
Would you able to listen?
I am not sure who is
Hello?
speaking. I'm not clear with your question.
No.
Hello, yes, Sai. What's your doubt?
Could you listen my voice now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, please
actually,
ask one.
we are having like these three type of solutions, right? Default, unmanaged, and managed.
Yes,
Yeah, just now you have told about managed solution, right? We cannot able to do any kind of customizations in the managed solutions.
yes.
When we will be using the managed solutions?
Yeah, good question. So if your development is completed, okay, so we'll give the your product to as managed only, because no one can allow to develop your components. So in this house, so we will provide only the managed solution to the client.
Yeah, it's like a final output.
Yes,
Okay.
it is kind of a final output.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Uh, and so as a developer, so you need to create your own solution. Our teams have one default solution that is called as unmanaged solution only. In real time, how we have, so every developer have their own solution. Okay, otherwise they will create one unique solution to work all team members itself. Okay,
I have a doubt.
yes,
Yeah, if we customized in unmanaged and we give final output, can we re-edit again? I mean, after completing all customization, after
hmm,
submitting to the client, can we any can we changes
no,
from
we can't do, you can't do any changes in the production instance where you have, if you have moved that solution to target instance, right? In target instance, you can't do any changes in the that
like
solution.
okay,
Okay,
we
if you
have to
want to do,
create from firstly and from first.
yes, please.
Yeah, okay. Am I right?
Sir, can you repeat your question on one more
Yeah,
time?
if we want any edits like any small, if we
Hmm.
done any mistakes in customization,
Mm-hmm.
after it going to final output, we
Mm-hmm.
can't do. I mean, we there is no chance to re-verify. Sorry,
No,
re-edit.
no, no,
No. Okay.
no.
Okay.
Once you created as a zip folder, we can export as a solution as a zip folder. If you are exported as a managed solutions, right, and imported in the target instance like production or UAT, you will not do any changes directly in the UAT and production.
Okay.
Again, you need to do changes in our unmanaged solution dev instance. Again, you need to export the solution and import it.
Okay.
Okay, clear?
Okay. Clear.
Okay.
I'm my question is not like we have to start from first.
No, directly also we can't edit anything in the manager solution. That is
Okay. Have
straightforward.
to start freshly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start not fresh. If, for example, you have exported in production instance and later you want to change a label of the field, right?
Okay. Yeah.
You can do directly on managed solution. In default solution, you can do,
Okay.
but that is not the a preferred way. Again, you need to come to the dev instance and you need to do the changes and you need to export and import in the production instance.
Okay.
That is a real time process. Okay.
Okay.
If there is any like a hot fix or like that, so you need to do in production, you need to remember what are the changes you have done and you need to do the in dev instance. If you forget it, right, that changes it, if it is a small changes and you forget it, right, later after some days you have imported a new solution. If the changes are not there in the dev instance and it will redirect in the production instance.
Yeah. Okay.
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 So now we will start how to create the solution. So here managed solution and click new. So whenever you created the new solution, so this page will open display name and publisher. Okay. Before creating a solution, we need to like create the publisher first. So what is the mean by publisher and what is the use of this publisher? Okay. If you see here by default we have this publishers like default publisher as Microsoft has provided. So publishers, these are the default solutions, and this I hope this is the solution where we have created in previously, right? And for example, I will tell you on real-time example. For example, you are doing one Tata product mm, project, so they want their name first. Okay, if you they will ask like this solution should be if looks like if you are identifying that solution, the publisher is the identifier for the each product, each product. Okay, that's the reason. So we need to create the publisher first while making this solution. Okay, in real time also when you start any development, right, so you need to ask your team members or manager which is in which publisher I need to use. If it is like a first time you are doing starting the development, right, you need to ask this publisher which publisher I need to like select, I need to use. If already created, you can use. If not, you can ask your team lead or manager, so what is the publisher name I can create. Okay, once they confirmed, if they have told you to use existing one, you can use existing one and create new one. If you create new one and the display name and describe that publisher, if you know that description of this publisher, you can describe it here, or what is the publisher. Okay, I think publisher is allow only I think 8 characters, I guess. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, max 8 characters only it will use, it will allow. Okay, we have already solution, so I will use that one only. Okay, uh, I will use L2 IT solutions. Okay, once we created solution here, right here it is in like a version. By default we'll have like 1001. Okay, I will explain this later while like doing any deployment, right? Once our development is ready. So once we are moving this solution to the any other instance like development phase, I will explain this clearly. If I explain now, so you will get confused. Okay, just create it. Now I have my own solution to do the developments. Okay. So once I created a solution here, if you see in the right hand, we have all. So whatever the components we can call this all or all components. Agent is one component, app is one component, cards, everything we can call as a components. In solution, what we have components. Okay, if you specifically ask what are the components, means so in tables we have, workflows we have, like views we have, um, everything we have under the solutions only, under the components. Okay, if you see this is an empty solution. Okay, and so once we have done this solution, so we need to export as a zip file. So that solution export and import everything I will tell you later. Now our solution is ready here. Okay, so what we need to do now, so we need to do the entity creation. So entity we can call as, previously we will call as in classic mode we will call as an entity. So now in the make.power apps we will call as a table. Okay, here if you click the tables, and if you see here, right, we have more options here to create, like these are all the different types to create, but our aim to create here is tables. Okay, create new table. Okay, before creating a table, so I will explain like an existing table. Okay, we have like out of the box tables, right, like opportunity, account, entity, case, वगैरह like that, right? So I will show you the difference. So what is the out of the box like tables, and what are the custom tables? Okay, and here if I go and add it, I will add account, and include all objects. Okay, I have added the account in our solution. If you see, account is a predefined entity where Microsoft is already provided. Okay, if you see here, right, first one is columns. These are all the out of the box columns where Microsoft is provided. And if see columns in the sense fields. Previously we will call as a fields. Now we are like pronouncing as a columns. Okay, if you see here, right, for each like fields we have display name, uh, display name and the name and type, data type. Okay, where there is a managed or not, managed or unmanaged, customizable or not, like these are all options we have. I will explain one by one later. So first of all we'll see the what are the navigations once we created the entity. So what are the like components will available, what are the things we can create under the entity. Okay, columns and relationships. So I will tell you later so what is the relationship and all. So columns we can create, and columns means fields, columns are fields we can create, relationships we can create, and keys we can create. So keys and all I will explain so one by one later. So what is the use of keys and all. Forms, so forms we can create, and how many types of forms we have, what is the use of each form, what is the main form, and what is the quick view form, what is the card form. So I will explain so once the time is came. Okay, if you see the main form, okay, here if you see the forms type, right, main, what is the main form, quick create form, card form, and views, what is the use of views. By default, so system can provide out of the box views. So if you want to do any our create our own custom views, we can create our custom views. How to create the views and everything I will tell you. Just I'm explaining the skeleton of the table. So later charts, so what is the use of charts and dashboards, and what is the use of business rules and everything. Okay, now I will create one custom table. Okay, and I will explain like while custom creating the custom table. So what are the types of like entities we can create? What are the properties we have while creating an entity and all? Okay. Mm, let me create one custom entity. I'm creating one custom entity. Go to the tables, select new table. Describe new table. Why it is taking a Copilot? Start with Copilot, import, start blank. As it is UA change. Like this table. It is a Copilot. If you give the student, so based on the like a student architecture, like this will generate. But we are not encouraging Copilot to create entities, so we need to create our own entities. See, if you like give the student and like Copilot is by default it is generated a fields as well. And this is the new future, but we don't want this one. We need our let me go back. Open it classic. Not sure, maybe why it is like it is not allowing for creating a manually, so it is allowing the creating using the Copilot. So that's the reason I have used this Copilot like classical version. Okay, here is the components, and if you see here, right, in the same way, like if you click new, and here you need to select the entity here. Okay, by while creating the new entity, so in left side if you see, right, all this it will come automatically. So if entity information, forms, views, charts, and it will come in the left navigation. And right side box, display name mandatory, so star is the mandatory things, so we need to fill it. So and plural name, what is the use of the plural name and what is the use of the name. And if you see here, right, data source and ownership. So here we have two types of ownership: users are teams and organization. Okay, and
Actually, we can't able to see except this page, like current page.
which page are
We
you able
have
to see now?
this classic page only. Like I think you have clicked on new table, right?
Yeah, new table, like new table only.
Like
This is new. Are you able to see
upon
new, right? New button,
yeah, upon clicking the
entity.
entity, we are unable to see anything.
Once we click this entity, you are unable to see anything.
No.
Okay, let me. Yeah, thanks for identifying that. So once we click new here, right? Okay, this is the window it will open.
Okay.
Display name, plural name, and name and ownership. These are the four mandatory things here. Okay. Display name means like what is the like name of that entity or table. For example, if case is an entity, so we need to use the case is a display name. Okay. Plural name, so it is like a table name. We'll use it in the as a plural cases. So just S is the like difference between the display name and the plural name. Okay, and name. So name is the like this is the like as a schema name for the table. So we'll use it in the customizations while you do any customizations. For example, if you do any writing the script, JavaScript plugins, so we need to use this like a schema name to read it and do any customization. Okay, ownership. user or team and organizations. If you by default, so it will show as a user or team. So if you want to create any organization entities, we need to select this one as an organization. So what is the use of this tool? So if you want to do any like a security level hierarchy, so we need to select based on this. If you select, if you created any entity by default as a user or team, so we can control security access user level or team level. Okay, security, once the security parties came, so you will understand like what is this, what is the use of, what is the purpose of this ownership. Okay, just I'm like telling. So if you select by default as a user or team, using the security role, so you can control as a user level or team level. If it is an organization level, so it will display all, for everyone. Okay, I'll give student. By default, what are the like display name you have given? By default, it will take this as a uh, schema name. Okay, don't change any schema names, let it be by default whatever the display name you will provide. For example, if you let me refresh this. For example, if you give student name, if you, once we click back or click tab, so by whatever the like display name you have given in the display, so by defaultly it will take without like any like uppercases or like any spaces. Okay, so it will take as a schema name. So display name, this one, whatever the display name they like customer wants, you can use it, that one. And plural name, just use S. Ownership type, so by default you can give it as a user or team level. And if you see here, right, areas that this want to display, for example, you have your training area. So this is like where you want to display your entity, whether you want to display in sales module, service module, or settings. Okay, mostly in the settings, whatever the organization level entities we will use in the settings area. And any configurations entities are there, we will create as a like user level or mostly organization level entities we will use in the settings. Okay, remaining entities, so where you want to like a display, so this is a area that you need to select. For example, here if you have sales service, here we have only two, trainings and settings. For example, if you have more like sales, service, marketing, like that mod, if you have different modules, so where you want to display in the entity for the users. Like, we have that classic, here we have, right, where you want to display, in which group you want to display. So that you need to select which area. Okay, for example, I want to display this one in trainings. And business process flows, so this is a business process flow. This is an different like a topic, so we can discuss later. So if you want to create a business process flow for this entity, so we need to check this one. So once we create it, later we can't like do the changes here, whatever the plus here, right, plus symbol is there, right. So we need to like select before only, later it will not allow to do any changes. For example, later I want to create the business process flow for this. No, you need to, while creating the entity itself, you need to decide if you are like if you need, you need to select this one. Okay, otherwise you can make it as uncheck only. So communication and collaboration. So this is the communication and collaborations. For example, any feedbacks, notes, notes and activities. Activities means phone calls, emails. So if you want to in anything, so you need to select first only. Whatever the plus is there, right? We need to select now only. Later it will not allow. So mail match and document management and access teams. So for some things we have plus and other things we don't have, right? We don't uh, have plus means we can customize later also. Okay, this is related to, for example, in our students, some If you need to create any communication and collaboration, so we need to select this one only. And data service, quick create. If you want in your entity, so we need to create the quick quick create forms and all. So we need to we need to select this one. Okay. And duplicate detection rule, so we have some duplicate reduction rules. So if you want to restrict the duplicate deductions on your entity, so this needs to be a check, otherwise it will allow the duplicate. If you check this also, it will allow, but we have in the back end, we have your duplicate deduction rules. We need to create, once we create the duplicate deduction rules, that will, while creating a record, so it will give one pop-up already, based on our duplicate detection rules. So it will give a pop-up, already the with the student name, for example, Sai. So already the Sai is created in the account, is student record. Do you want to ignore and continue like that? So if we can create the duplicate detection rules. So this is like auditing. Auditing means, so in the future, so in the organization, you want to track the audit, like who created and who updated, when it is updated, which fields it is updated. So if you want to track the audit for this entity, so we need to enable this audit. Okay, we need to enable this audit, then only we can track the audit history in the entity level. Okay, fields levels also we have an audit. So once I created the fields, I will tell you. So we need to enable, if you want to audit the logs in the audit level, we need to enable in audit level. If you want to track the audit in the field level, columns level, we need to enable the audit in the columns level. Okay, this is like audit settings and out of the box mailboxing, everything. So mainly we will not use complete settings here. Just commonly we will use this audit one. Okay, if you want to track audit, this is the main feature we will use. Okay, remaining we will not use. Where you want to display, this is the one main. So while just we will give the a schema names, mandatory names, display name, plural name. So name is automatically it will take whether it is ownership or not. Just for your understanding, I have explaining everything. Okay, I have created, we have save and close. Once that is saved, we'll know the, we will create the fields. In Classic, it will take time, but in Power Make.Power Automate, it will not take time. In Make.Power Automate, I don't know, it is not allowing to use this one. So we need to practice in Make.Power Apps only. So this is slowly Classic window is deprecating the Microsoft. So the best practice is we need to make the customizations in the Make.Power Apps only. So once we created the entity, right? So we have created it within the solution. So that is the reason directly it is added. Okay, before we have only one entity, one table. Now we have two tables because we have created, this is the custom one. Okay, if you see here, right, student is a table name, and this is the a schema name for this student, and this is a type standard entity, and this is the a managed. If you see, right, is a managed solution means yes, if no means it is an unmanaged solution. So whatever the components we are creating, those are all comes in the unmanaged only. Okay, tag is custom. If you see here is a tag is a custom entity. And so once we created a entity, so we are not done anything. See, by default, Microsoft is provided some custom like out of the box fields here. For each entity, whether it is a custom entity and out of the box entity, if it is an out of the box entity, they will provide you a lot of fields. But commonly for custom entity and out of the box entity, so they will Microsoft is providing this. Okay, created by delegates and created on. Okay, import like a sequence number and modified on. This is the primary column of this field. As everyone is aware of this primary key, right? So only one unique name is an unique for each entity. So we'll have one field as a unique to identify that record, right? For example, that is the way like for here. So the Microsoft has given as name as a column and one who is the owner of this one and owning business unit, and these are like lot of fields. What is the status means status of this field and time zone and the version of this number. So commonly for whether it is out of the box or custom entity, by default these are the fields it come. So these are we can call as a like out of the box fields. But when we like creating the custom entity also, by default Microsoft is providing these fields. If you see, these are the display name. This always only the display name will be visible for the users. Okay, end users. If you see here, right, this is the display name. Okay, this is the name it will be display for the end users to give their input. For example, uh, here customer name means they will give their name. So this is the like a display name. And modified created by who created this record. Okay, once we created the entity, so we'll talk about the only the records. If you create any record, right, who created and when it is created or created date. Okay, if you see here, right, display name, this is the display name and this is the schema name for that field. And if you see here, right, data types, we have like, a lot of data types in the CRM. So I like explain like once we started like creating of the fields. If you see a lot of like lookups is there, choice is there, date only is there, like this. And relationships, keys, forms. If you see here, right, whenever you create any custom entity, by default we will have three forms: main forms, quick create form, card forms. Okay, by default Microsoft will give. If you open this one, right, so this is the designer for this form. If you want to do any changes in the backend, if you want to do any configurations and customizations in the form level, so we need to open this form, main form, or like whether it is a main form and quick create form. So just we need to click that form. So that will give this window left side, whatever the fields we have, so that will display. In the middle window, this is the like a form, so where you need to like do the changes, whether you need to add the fields and remove the fields, add the tables, sessions, whatever you want. Okay, in the right side, so this will show them this form properties. Okay, display name, if you want to change a display name. Okay, this display name of the form, so we can change. If you want to add description, like here we can add. So this I will come later and I will explain clearly, and each button, what is the use of the each button. Okay, I will explain later. Okay, by default the CRM will provide the three forms. If you want like another forms, like I want like main form, I want quick create form, you can create your own forms. Okay, I will show the data types now. So once we click these columns and click new here, once we click this one, right, columns, so we have like display name, description for that field, and this is the main thing, data type. So we have like this kind of this many like data types we have, like whether it is a text or number or date and time, lookup, choice, whether it is a currency, auto number field, if you want to add any files or images, or if you want to do any calculations on the field, okay, if you want to do any prompt field, okay, these are the data types in by default CRM Microsoft is has provided. So we need to use like most of the data types we will cover here only. Okay, we don't need any like new data type, any custom data type. So if you like if you select the single line of text, right, for example, student name is a single line of text. If you need to select as a text format as a text, okay, if you see in format we have like a lot of things in data types. We have a number of things, and I have selected text. Okay, by default it will select as a text, single line of text. Single line of text means just for example, it will allow for users to enter the single line of text. For example, so what is your name, uh, like that. Okay, this is a single line of text, and this is a number field. If you want to like add any number fields, if you select the number field as some, by default it will show as a whole number field. If you want to like any like other fields like decimal fields, float number, floating fields, okay, so this all number related all comes under this type. Okay, and date, you want to display a date and time or only date. Based on that we need to select the which one you want. For example, if I select here date and time, and below it will show as a format, you want only, we want to display only date or date and time. Okay, and whether it is a lookup, custom lookup, or by default CRM lookup. Choice, whether it is a choice, choice means option set field. So previously we'll call as option set, now they are making as a choice. Okay, and this is the like yes or no fields, we can call as a two option set, this one. And currency field, we have the currency field. If you want to do create any currency fields, and we need to select this currency field only. And if you want to create any auto number fields, for example, previously we don't have the auto number fields in the CRM, so in recently they have added auto numbering. If you want to do an auto numbering, in previously we need to do the customization, like we need to create the plugin or Power Automate. Now it is, they have make it is easy without doing any customization, any coding. So they have directly provided the auto number. So if you select the auto number, right, by default it will give the 4-digit number. Okay, so you can add the prefix for the auto number. I'm giving overall information only, so I will come one by one. Okay, I will create one by each field, and I will display in the form, form, and I will show you how each field, how the data that it will allow. Okay, just overview I am giving now, that each field type. So if it is taking time also, if it is taking 2 classes also, don't bother about that. We'll, this is the basics things we need to learn. Very important things. Okay, if you are not like listen these 2 classes, very important basic class, right? So if you went real time, and if they will ask, so create this field, and you will ask simple doubts, that will not good. Okay, if they have create, they will give one scenario, one like task to you. Create a date of birth field means you need to like identify. So date of birth field means we need to create the date field. Okay, and you don't need to ask whether I need to select the data type as a date field. If they are asking to you to like create a email field, we need to create a single line of text. There we need to select as a type as a format as a email. Okay, you need to like identify that. That is the reason I am explaining each and everything as a very slower. Okay, while creating a new, and this we can, these are the data types, these are the format means if you select a single line of fields, it will allow text. Okay, for example, in if I want need to create an email. So if you select an email, right, by default it will have Microsoft has provided the validation in the backend. For example, if you give any text and you are forget to give the @ of dot domain name, so it will like show that warning message. So input is not correct. Please give the valid email ID. So no need to do any customization for that. For example, if you select a phone number, so it will allow only number. So it will not allow. For example, you have selected a single line of text, but it will allow input as a phone number only. For example, you have created a phone number and you have selected as a text. Okay, it will allow phone number means I can give ABCD also because the format is a text. But what is the right field and we need to create? For example, this is the field I told you to create, okay, in the real time. And you have created this one. By default phone number they will provide, beginners they will provide, and they will select as a single line of text, or they will search here whether we need to select a whole number or text. You will get confusion which field we need to select. So we need to select the single line of text. In format you need to check if we need to select the phone number here, and we have the format is the important thing. If it is a single line of, if it is a single line of thing, so what we need to, if it is direct a single line of text field, we need to select as a text, and it is a multi-line of text, we need to select as a text area. And if it is a rich text editor, recently they have added the rich text editor as a format. Rich text editor means this is the rich text editor. I will create each field one by one. Just I am going overview. Okay. Don't bother about it. I will repeat the class one more time also. Okay. This is the important things: creation of entity and creation of the fields. And number fields, as you know. Okay. In format, if you select the text as a format, and in data type in the format, we have these options. For example, if you want to add URL field means you need to select this one as a URL field. So if you select this one, so it will allow only the HTTP dot like google.com. If you enter at a simple manner, so it will not allow. It will allow, but it will give an like a warning, or it will convert as whatever the you have given. It will convert as a URL format. Okay. This is the like a data type we need to select, and format, which format we need to select, and behavior. So here if you see, right, simple and calculated. Okay. By default we have a simple thing, and if calculated means if you have any calculated based on this if you want to do any calculation on this field, so we can select as a calculator. Later I will select explain. So what is the simple, why we need to select the simple, when we need to select the simple, and when we need to select the calculated. Okay. And we have calculated and roll up also. Till now anyone, later I will explain later remaining things
For the
in next section.
description, like, is it mandatory?
Yeah, it is mandatory. Display, it is not mandatory, but for example, if I mouse over here, right, it is showing as a customer name, na.
Yeah.
So if you are not giving any description, right, whatever the display name you have given, what is the name we have given, that will show. For example, specifically, if you want to like user to alert, like mouse, we will call at a mouse over here. If you mouse over, users should understand what input they want to give. For that we will give the description field. For example, if it is a phone number field, please, if you mouse over here, right, please enter only 10-digit number.
Okay.
If you show that name, right, we need to use that description. Okay. In tomorrow's session I will like again I will explain the columns, what are the use of the data types, when we need to create which data type. Okay. I will create all the field data types, and I will do the place it in the form all the data types, and I will explain each data type use. Okay. Till now anyone having any doubt?
It's fine. No doubt.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Bye. We'll share this detailed recording. Thanks everyone. Bye.